Good morning, good morning, good morning! How's everyone doing? Welcome! It's Thursday. We passed the hump day. Hey everyone, I have to start by telling everyone thank you so much for the love that I received yesterday. You guys really enjoyed hearing about me, and I really didn't know if you would. So I'm just really grateful that you did. And hi Adam, welcome. Welcome. Today's a fun day. He's going to get on at 12:02, so you guys have to stick with me till 12:02 to meet Michael Dean. You're going to love this guy. I got to tell you, there's some very surprising things about him that I'm excited to share with you and excited to hear him actually share some of his experiences, so that will be really fun. Hi, Luigi. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, Luigi is my editor at large. He's an amazing guy. We're going to actually have Luigi back on the show very soon because he's got a big story to tell, which I'm excited about. I love seeing you on here. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Hi, Kim Diffie! It's Kim Diffie, everyone! Is it that he looks like Mary Poppins, huh? I don't know what you mean, Aaron. I don't know what you mean. So I know you were kidding, Aaron. I know these things. I know you were kidding. No, you were kidding. I gotta tell you, one of the things that surprised me the most yesterday was the amount of people that said I should do another cabaret show online. So I'm actually considering doing that, and I will let you know when that happens and how that happens. So if you have any song choices, I would love to hear what songs you would like me to sing. Challenge me big. Oh, I'll sing opera. Okay, probably not opera, but I'm gonna do it because Aaron, you didn't show up to my last one. I still want to know. Wait, I lose the messages. I still want to know. No cowboy boots yet. None yet. Okay, I saw that Michael Dean has come on, and so he just needs to push that button, and we need to get him live, and we need to make this happen, everyone. We need to make it happen. You guys stick around. You're gonna absolutely love this guy. You're gonna love him. You're gonna absolutely love him. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what they say about him. I don't care what they say in the blogs about him. He's a good guy. You're gonna love him. So
I am here now. I am here. What's
and there
up?
he is.
How you doing?
How are you, sir?
I am great. It's a
Nice.
wonderful, what is it, Thursday?
It's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
I heard your opera singing a second ago. Congratulations. That was fantastic.
Thank you, Michael Dean. If Michael Dean says that I should be an opera singer, then guess what? I will be an opera singer.
Exactly. Please do. On the stages that are no longer open.
And that. Fine. Semantics. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But gotta say, the hair is on point this morning.
Oh, thank you. I fixed it approximately about 30 seconds ago.
Is that why you needed the extra 2 minutes?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Busy day.
if you can do this in 30 seconds, I can't imagine if I gave you a minute.
You know what the secret is. I'll tell you the secret.
Okay.
A good haircut. See, if you have a good haircut, it's easy to style because you just done.
This is very true. And it's funny because I always use the Dolly Parton quote, "It takes a lot of money to look this cheap." Because I got to tell you, the haircut is not, it takes a lot. It takes a lot.
For sure. You know where Dolly Parton's from, of course.
Tennessee.
My home state. Yes.
Okay, your internet's kind of cutting in and out. So I think you said your home state. Is that what you said?
Yes, my home state. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of the anime right now because your lips will start moving, and then I hear you talking about like 12 seconds.
Oh no!
But we'll deal with it. It's fine.
We'll roll with it, and then I can
Listen.
see if I can change my Wi-Fi later if it keeps happening.
Okay. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, if not everything in Michael Dean's life is perfect, then we're good. This is proof.
Exactly. There we go.
Even Michael Dean doesn't get great internet.
I always seem to have Wi-Fi issues. I think it follows me.
Well, listen, you are in New York. New York does have a lot of Wi-Fi issues.
It's true. Good old New York.
Good old New York. Michael, I'm so excited to have you on here.
Yes.
And my hope is that I ask you no question that people have asked you time and time again. Like, tell me, how do you model? Like, I don't like. We know all about that. So
We know that. We've
we're
seen it.
we're gonna get into some fun questions, hopefully, and have some
Yes,
fun
of
together.
course.
You
Of
know,
course.
I got to start off by saying, like, every friend of our mutual friends that knows you, like, every time they talk about you, I'm like, okay, there's got to be something wrong with this guy. Like, something. Like, he's got to have a wart somewhere. He has to have something somewhere. And people just really love you. They love you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for saying that. I mean, yeah, no one's perfect, but I definitely try to put my best foot forward most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time.
Well, and I have to ask you this. Oh, oh, that was weird. I got like something weird.
Here.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I have to ask you this, and I'm going to start off with this. Something I read that actually really surprised me was that you were kind of a bad boy in high school. Like, you weren't like the greatest.
I used to be a little bit of a bad boy. Yeah, I was actually, how do I say this correctly? Picked up by the police officers a few times.
I mean,
for not
that's
doing
shocking
that.
to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure every kid goes through their own phases. I used to just think I was just hot stuff and could do whatever I want. And so, yeah, I was a little bit of a bad boy. I think that also comes with maturity. You learn what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So, I thought I was hot stuff until, I'm from Tennessee, so I thought I was hot stuff. And then you move to New York and realize you're very small.
Well, but you know what? I bet you, I mean, one of the things that I think was probably pretty good about that is that you probably have a lot of empathy for people. Like, you actually know, like, kind of what you went through has probably helped you help other people.
For sure, for sure. Especially like younger people, I definitely connect well with and helping them. Like, I definitely fell into the group, and I'm sure everyone does, where like in high school, you think high school is like super important, and then you get out of it and you realize like, oh wow, none of that really mattered that much. I mean, obviously your grades and whatnot matters, but like populator and things like that. So I feel like I learned that early on, and then was able to kind of help my peers kind of, realize that like you have your whole life ahead of you.
I mean, I think the thing that I think the reason that surprised me, first of all, high school really wasn't that long ago for you. I mean, it was a while ago, but I mean,
Yeah.
people don't realize that you're 25, 24?
24.
You're 24. Like, I think people see
I'm a
your
youngin'.
career and see what you've been able to do and the accomplishments, and I think people are pretty astounded. Not that you don't look older, but I think you've had so much life behind you that I think people are really surprised by your age.
Oh, thank you. I always say I feel 48 with the mortgage, so.
I mean, listen, you've lived a lot of life in 24 years.
I definitely haven't. I just want to ask real quick, I'm not still cutting out, am I?
A little bit, but it's okay. We still love
bit.
you. It's good right now,
Cool.
let's not jinx it.
Good for now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I've had a lot of life experience. I moved to New York when I was 19. I pretty much always knew I wanted to get out of Tennessee, or at least go somewhere where there's more happening. So whether it be LA or Toronto or Miami, it was just that New York was the first opportunity I got, so I took it. My family was super supportive of me and just told me to like go chase my dreams, and they trusted me, and it was a great decision. I noticed really quickly in New York that a lot of people want to be in New York, but not everyone has what it takes to be there. So if you really are energetic and polite and friendly and just all those good characteristics, you will stand out in New York, because I think a lot of people just, like I said, they want to be there, but they don't know what it takes to be there. So from the moment I got here, was like, I'm going to be the most charismatic person in the room. I'm going to get everyone's name. I'm going to make sure they remember me, because that's, it's not who you know, it's who knows you, which is most important. So I was like, I'm going to make sure I'm memorable. And yeah, it worked out in my favor for sure.
Did you have a mentor growing up, or was that self-taught?
I will say mostly self-taught. I definitely have people in my life who influenced me. I was big into sports, so I looked up to my coaches a lot, who were typically pretty, not your typical like football coach yell at you. They were very like understanding and So I felt like I learned from them about like patience is very important and things like that. And I think the combination of what I learned from sports and then those coaches themselves probably helped me kind of be the man who I am now.
I think the thing that most people like when I posted that you were going to be doing the show, the response that I got is like, it's amazing to us how humble this guy is. Like, I mean, listen, you've heard it. I'm not going to be the first person to say this. Like, you've
No.
got a stunning body. You're a handsome man. You married a freaking gorgeous model. I mean, like, you've got it
She
all.
is.
And it's like, hello, like, leave some for us, sir. But the thing that people really do love about you, and the reason I think people want to follow you and want to learn more about you, is a lot of your humility, and it's fun. Like, it's nice to, like, I was watching what the hell is that show? America's Got Talent, just on
Oh yeah.
YouTube, and there was this like amazing singer, and but then when she ended it, she was like, oh my god, and you could see the humility in her, and you were like,
Hmm.
even though she was amazing, the thing that you really saw about her was her humility. What
Right.
keeps you humble?
So I have a pretty strict life philosophy that I really try to follow. It's based on Stoic philosophy, so it's an ancient Greek philosophy. Um, it, Humility is a big part of it. I mean, I'm not going to get too much into that. Just that I've learned that like no one is better than anyone else. I mean, you could be a world-class movie star, you could be no one, and really what matters at the end of the day, friends, family, and the virtues that you give back to the world. I think that's what matters more than status or success. And I've also seen firsthand incredibly successful people, quote unquote successful, just utterly miserable.
Yeah.
So like they have all the things that people covet, the things that people are so jealous to have, and you meet that person and they're just dead inside. And so you realize, or at least I've realized that those things just don't really matter. And what does matter is being kind to people and having people remember you and specifically remember good things about you.
That's huge. Like, I mean, again, like the thing that like surprises me is how much older you are in spirit. Like, I'm like sitting
Right.
here and I'm like 120 years older than you. And I'm like, oh, I'm learning from you. Like, what the heck? Like, age is really just a number, and you're kind of the example of that.
It can be. It can be for sure.
So here's something that also, I mean, the whole world kind of went, when you said I do. They were like, no,
I've heard
Michael
this
can't
too.
be married. But
That's
you
so
married
funny.
this beautiful girl named Cassie.
Yes.
And I love the freaking story of how you guys met.
Yes, and so I'll say it since probably a lot of people don't know is I was on a reality dating show on MTV called Are You the One? And it was season 6. I did go on there to try to find love, and I met some really cool people, but it
Did you
didn't work
really,
out in the
though?
love
Did you
department.
really try to find love on it?
I really tried. I promise you I did. At least I was open to the opportunity. Let's say that. I was very open to the opportunity that if I found the right person, I would stick with that person. Of course, I did go for the fun time and the exposure. That was a big part of it. But so yeah, I went on there. It didn't work out with the girls that I met, and Cassie, however, saw the first episode and was like, hey, that guy's he's not too bad looking. So she sent me a DM. I responded. We went on a date later that week, and boom, we were dating pretty much from that first date, and now we're married. It's pretty bada bing, bada boom.
So, I mean, you could actually say you met someone via MTV.
It's very true. I definitely could. It kind of worked out.
Does she have like a backstory of like her saying like there's no way he's going to respond, or like what?
Yeah. So she was like hanging out with her girlfriends in bed, watching reality TV as girls do, and yeah, they were just like daring each other, like, "Oh, send a message to that guy, send a message to that guy." So like she didn't really think I was going to respond, and then even she told me this later that after agreeing to go on the date with me, she was like, "I don't really like particularly want to go on this date. Like he's cute and everything. Like I want to meet him, but like I didn't expect this to actually happen." So
How
her
long
friends
did you
convinced
guys
her to
date
go.
before you got married?
The day that we got married was 2 years to the day from our first date.
Wow. So
So
you dated pretty for a good amount of time.
for a good amount of time, yeah. I had these weird thoughts on our first date of like, I love her, and I was like, in my mind, like, you can't say that. That's like stuff like crazy people say. Like, you don't love her. You literally met her 10 minutes ago. I was like, these thoughts though that was rushing my head. I was like, maybe I could learn to love her. Like, I don't know what's happening in my brain, and it just only got stronger from there. So when people ask me like, why did you get married so young? It was like, to me, that question in itself, why, is a strange question. It's because it's like it just made sense. Like it just kind of happened.
Do you like? Has there been anything that has surprised you about being a husband? Like, or is there anything that you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize I was this or did this, or like, is there anything that has surprised you?
That is a very good question. I've never been asked that question.
Huh? See, I told you we were gonna ask
Yeah,
questions you've never
yeah.
been asked.
Some new questions. Um, to be completely honest,
I
not
prefer if you lied.
really. Okay, I'll come up with some good stuff.
Yeah.
I never thought she would beat me. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Anything about being a husband? I mean, you definitely, when making a long-term commitment, you need to be much more patient, and it's not all about butterflies and like having the best day. It's about like truly caring for another person. And I don't think you can really understand that until you are in that commitment. And yeah.
Does she ever like? I would imagine for actually both of you. Her Instagram is private and stuff, so I think
Hmm.
it's probably more on her side than your side. But does like, do you guys have to talk constantly about like? Because I guarantee people still slide into your DMs and still send you probably
Oh yeah.
pictures and things. Like, does she get like
Oh, for
does there
sure.
have to be this constant communication between each other of like, yeah, I'm not talking to these people. I'm not, like.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So I mean, Cassie loves me very much, so there's definitely like I'm not gonna say a jealousy factor, but like she wants to know what's going on. Um, she's really really good. I hope she's not watching right now because I'm just gonna tell her secrets. But she's really really cool about most things. Where some girls are like very like, no, you can't do this. Cassie's really cool across the board. The one thing that is very important to her is always telling the truth.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier said than done, of course, but we're always truthful with each other, and that pretty much solves any issue that we have.
I mean, it's a different world, obviously, right? Like, back in our parents' days, they didn't have to worry about girls, guys, whoever
DMs.
sliding in their
Oh
DMs.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
had to
that's
court
your
someone.
career.
No, people don't even know what that word is. Courting someone.
Yeah.
Before you could date them, you had to hang out with them in a social setting to make sure it was okay. Like that's such a strange concept.
Wait, you mean you want to meet for dinner? Like, ew, weird. No.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And now it's like they skip all the steps. So
It is a weird thing. I got to tell you. So how long have you been married now? A year?
a year on Monday.
This coming Monday or last Monday?
This coming Monday.
Holy crap! That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
asked you to do the show today. I wanted to do an anniversary
Exactly. So we
special
could
for you.
celebrate. Thank you.
Now, she's probably watching. I'm hoping she's watching, so I'm not going to ask you what you got
Probably.
her, but I hope you did something good.
Yes. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it will happen.
I mean, the 1 year is a big deal.
I also learned that that is one thing I learned about being a husband is don't go too big too quick because you got your whole life ahead of you.
That's actually some really good advice. I tend to like
Really good.
first date. I'm like, oh well, let me build a castle out of ice, and we'll eat inside and let it melt around. And then
Yeah, right.
second date, I'm like, let's go to Chili's, and they're like, what?
Yeah. They're like, hold up, what?
Well, excuse us. So let me ask you this: what's next for you? Like, I feel so I know that modeling and training is a big deal for you. We'll talk a little bit about that, but like, what's next? Like, what is like a dream of yours, a goal of yours that you're like, I'm pursuing that?
Yeah. So I think this comes with what you're saying before of like I seem older than I am, and that I've always like planned for my future. I've always been like, all right, like I have to like save this amount by this age, and I have to like boom boom, and I just set like hard milestones for myself. So I think my big step moving forward, COVID kind of taught me this, is like I had big plans for 2020, like career wise, financially, different things, and like life just doesn't happen how you want it. It just doesn't work like that. So for me, is not planning. It's actually to like take a step back, to smell the roses, and like maybe go on a vacation more often, and like just do little things that I normally am too busy for.
I love that. You're going to start living your life because you've been so
Exactly.
docile and doing nothing.
Something like that.
I love that. I love that. I think, one of the principles I think I've heard a ton of lately, obviously with COVID and all of us kind of being kind of brought to the same level, is that people, you know, take account of what's the small things in life because one
Right.
day you're going to find out that it was actually one of the biggest parts of your life when it's
Right.
gone.
Exactly. And yeah, so that's a big thing for me, is that obviously Cassie and I would hope to start a family soon. That's more on the personal side, because we'll get to the career stuff
I
soon
can't
soon enough.
imagine like literally your poor child in the sense of look at my parents, they're both like god and goddesses, and like here I am having to go through my awkward teen years with both my parents looking how they do. Not fair.
That's so funny. Cassie was saying something kind of about that like yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not worried about it at all." She's like, "Why are you not worried about it?" I was like, "Because we will be raising this child. There will be a superstar. I'm not worried."
Okay, so
So
I mean,
let's hope.
let's prepare you for that one day, that fatherhood. What is one of your best dad jokes?
Oh,
Are you a dad
So,
joke guy?
rec so recently it was my father's birthday, so I handed him his 50th birthday card. He looks me dead in the eyes and he says, "You know, just one of these would have done." But because I handed him at the 50th one, even though it wasn't his 50th
Oh,
birthday, I gave him 50.
that was a
See, it's not
really
a dad joke unless you have to explain it.
that was a really good dad joke.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
Actually,
I don't know. They're all
that
pretty
was
terrible.
once you explained it, it was actually quite funny.
It
And
was
actually, that's
clever. Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what dad jokes are. Is they have to be explained.
Right. They're supposed to be terrible, right? I've
I mean,
always been
like,
told, see, I never find myself as a funny person like my friend Sean. Like, he's got jokes for days. Like, he literally, I guess he reads joke books and memorizes them. I don't know where he comes up with them.
are we talking about Sean
Uh,
Alexander?
Sean Alexander, the one and only. Yes.
That guy literally, like, I will sit at lunch with him or dinner, and I'm like, okay, you can't tell me another joke. Like, I can't do it.
Another
I
story. Right.
can't
You're
like
laughing. So,
absorb all your jokes.
so he's got tons. I've always been told I'm funny when I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I'll literally be talking about something dead serious, and like the group of people I'm with just bust out laughing, and I'm like, ha, yeah, it was a joke. Mm,
I gotcha.
yeah. So that's generally how my jokes go.
So, would you say that your number one is fitness and kind of the private training that you're doing and all that, or are you more of a model? Like, what would you say you are first? I mean, husband.
So
I'll
me,
give you the answer. Your husband first.
husband, yes, of course, first job. I would say fitness first. It's definitely been my passion for a very long time. It's something that like as a kid, I always felt like I had control over this. Like, most teenagers feel like they don't have control. So my fitness was one thing I could control, and that's kind of where it spawned from. And I've loved giving that confidence to other people because fitness truly can bring confidence for people. And
100%.
yeah, so and you even like over the past few years, we're getting back into working out and different things, right?
Yep, lost 110 pounds.
That's amazing.
I don't know if
So,
you
and
saw
and
those
I'm sure
things.
it gave you like a lot of confidence afterwards, right?
It did. I mean, it's funny though because when you do gain that confidence, you don't want to lose humility, right?
Right.
And I've said this on the show several times that my definition of humility had to change, which is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. Because I always thought that humility, what are you still there? I think we've lost him, everyone. Hello? I can hear you, I just can't see you. Oh crap, guys. Guys, I think he's. What's happening?
Are we
Oh
back?
no, guys, I would. I can hear you. You're just paused and look like oh, a little bit back. We'll take it. I
We'll
guess we'll
take it.
just take
Is
it
this
as
good?
it
I
is.
can move to
I
another
don't know.
spot that probably has better Wi-Fi if you want.
I mean, let's try it because right now it's not good.
Yeah, let's try that. All right. And the move happens, so you guys will get a little preview of my apartment.
Well, not really because it's still paused. But that's okay. Let it go, let it go. You're frozen. We'll see you soon. Guys, don't leave, don't leave. He's coming back, I promise. Oh, guys, it's getting worse. Oh no. Crap.
Have faith, Mark. Have faith.
There you are.
I'm back. We made it happen. All right.
Oh, so much better.
Good. All right. You can see me. You can hear me. We're good.
Yes.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's just get that angle. We need the angle. All right. Cool. So what were we talking about?
We're
Humility and
talking
stuff.
about humility and like losing weight. Like, confidence. I always thought that a confident person meant someone that didn't have humility. And then I changed the definition of humility to being not thinking less of yourself, but just thinking of yourself less.
Right. And that is huge right there is your self-confidence should always be high in terms of like how you view yourself, I believe. But always putting other people first will always just make you happier.
Yeah. Now, so because you do a lot of online fitness as well, right? Like
Hmm.
anyone who really wants to can learn from you, and you will give them basically the steps to how to look just like you, right?
Pretty much for the most part. I do ask a level of discipline from my clients, and that is definitely one of the first things I say to people is like, hey, I expect you to do what I say and to complete the tasks I give you. Obviously, if you slip up here and there, that's totally fine. But and if they can do that, that's great. I'll take them as a client. And if not, and you really need to be honest with yourself, then it's not for you because outward motivation, and a lot of people try to find outward motivation, just doesn't last. Meaning, like, you see a ripped person on Instagram and you're like, man, I need to go to the gym today, right? That's outward motivation. Whereas, like, inward motivation is, hey, I want to see myself getting better every day. That's what sticks with you. And so that's what I try to build up in my clients is discipline first, just doing it when you don't want to do it. Eventually that turns into self-motivation.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Like people ask me all the time if I got the, gastric bypass surgery. And I said no, because the reality was I needed to change my mindset first. Like even if I
Mm-hmm.
got gastric bypass, I have nothing against it. But even if I got it, but my mind wasn't there and I wasn't internally motivating myself, then it didn't matter what happened because I would just
Right,
still stay fat, really.
right, right.
And so it was once
And
I
it'd be
changed my
very
mindset.
harmful for your body as well.
Oh, it would have been awful. Like, I'm
Right.
so glad I didn't do it. Now, I did get the tummy tuck. I talk about that all the time because
Sure.
I had 17 pounds of excess skin.
Right.
I wanted that off my body. But, I think you're right. If someone like, can anyone sign up or do you only have a
Yep.
certain amount of clients?
I do take only a certain amount of clients, but I'm not near that yet. It kind of like ebb and flows. Definitely like springtime is the busiest time, so it's fall, so people are going back to school or different things. Anyone can train with me, yeah. I have a website called www.philosophy-fitness.com. So that's my website. You can read about online training. I have ebooks on there, as well as you can submit to be a client.
What is, do you think, the hardest obstacle for someone to get over to getting to their fitness goals?
Yeah, it's kind of what I touched on before about motivation. and discipline. I think that for most people and what I've seen is doing things even though you don't want to do them. That's the hardest part is, and this, what I'm about to say, doesn't go for everyone. Of course, everyone has their own life challenges and everyone's different, but we definitely live in a softer world than we used to, kind of what we were talking about earlier, in that kids aren't often made to do things they don't want to do, pretty much other than schoolwork. And that's great in a lot of instances, but you don't learn that discipline or the character of doing something, not because it makes me happy in the moment, but because it's going to make me happy in the long run. And that's where you find true joy. So bringing it all the way back, when it comes to your fitness, doing, going to the gym, even though you don't want to, will eventually lead into motivation, but to get people to do that is a struggle sometimes.
Do you find that, like, now with COVID and everything, obviously gyms are not readily available to everyone. So is that something that people still can reach their fitness goals without a gym?
I've been really surprised at how many people have been able to reach their fitness goals without a gym, and how many people seem to be more motivated working out from home. In the past, it was the opposite. Working out from home, people just wouldn't do the workouts. And now, maybe it's, people are just claustrophobic and going crazy inside, so they just want to do something. But I've seen more success from my clients this summer than any other time in training.
That's amazing. I mean, listen, I will tell you that the gym for me was the scariest thing in the world, because being overweight, being, not doing things well. I mean,
Right.
I remember the first time I went to the gym, I was doing arms, and this personal trainer walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, do you need help?" And I was like, "I got it. Thanks."
I got it.
And he's like, "Are you sure
Yeah.
you don't need help?" I was like, "Hey, buddy, I got it." And he came in for a third time and he's like, "That's a leg machine." I was like, "Oh."
That's awesome. I can totally see that.
It was literally
Wow. Yeah. So many people give themselves such a hard time for doing things like that, but it's like tons of machines and equipment that you've never seen before. It's totally intimidating. And honestly, without an encyclopedia, how are you supposed to know how to do all this stuff? It's like,
You don't.
a lot of fitness people, if I took them to the hood of a car and opened up the hood, I'm like, fix the radiator, they'd be like, "I don't know what a radiator is. How do you expect me to know that?" It's the same thing for fitness.
I'm telling you. I will tell you right here and right now. Oh, I get it. Leg machines. But I was like, hey,
Right.
that worked. It worked for me. I was just so
It does.
strong. I
Yeah.
needed so much weight.
Exactly. I had to go.
Use a leg machine.
There you go. Makes sense. I can see it.
Well, I got to tell you right here and right now, I want to sign up. I would love, I'm at
Great.
a place where fitness scares me more than anything.
Right.
Freaks me out. I'm scared of being sore. I'm scared of not doing it right. I'm scared of not getting the results I want. If I don't look like Michael Dean after 2 days, I'm going to be pissed.
I'll touch on a couple of things you just said is, where you said, "I'm scared I'm not doing it right." And that's another little hiccup I see with my clients a lot. It's like, "Hey, I'm doing this exercise and I feel it here. I must be doing it wrong." I'm like, "Nope, that's just your body hurting. It's fine." Teaching. So when it comes to fitness, I always say consistency over intensity, right? You'll see the results if you're consistent in doing it over time. If you're just looking to see results in 2 days, quite frankly, you'll probably never see results.
Wait, you're telling me I'm not going to look like you after 2 days?
If I looked like me after 2 days, that would be awesome. Unfortunately, it took me 5 years. So, yeah. Darn.
Freaking Michael, why do you ruin it for us all?
Speaking the truth up in here.
How dare you?
I have to.
Well, I will say, something that I heard you say, which you might not even remember saying this, but I heard you say this years ago. You were probably 20 years old when you talked about this. Is that every day, if you just do something,
Yes.
you're at least doing something more than you did the day before.
Exactly.
I don't care if it just means walking into the gym. I don't care if it's 1 push-up. Tomorrow, just do 2 push-ups.
Exactly.
You're doing more than you did before. And my biggest problem has been, and I got so much motivation from you, because my biggest problem has been that idea of I overexert myself, and then I literally can't move for 17 days. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, okay, I'm done.
Right. So that's where the consistency over intensity is important. And again, we live in this super fast paced world where like you can make money real quick, you can do this and that real quick, like you can do all these things real quick, and we want our bodies to be the same way. So we work out crazy hard for 7 days, like just absurdly hard, like. And probably everyone who's doing this is doing a really great job for 7 days. But then we look at our body after 7 days. I'm like, I can't tell a difference. It's been 7 days of hell. I should be able to see a difference. Well, the difference is there, but you can't see it. And so that's where people fall off. Really, if you could stick to fitness for 20 days, everyone would probably continue on.
So after 20 days, I'll look like you.
Exactly. You got the meat of what I was saying. That's all that matters.
That's all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
After
right,
everything I've said, that's what you got, Mark Curry. Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Well, no, I mean, I'm signing up because it's a huge fear of mine. Huge fear of mine. I feel like I will completely fail. The other thing that I fear so much is that, I see like all my friends like you that are working out and then eating like crazy. And I'm like,
Right.
I eat like a half a burger or a half of whatever and I'm full. Like, does
Right.
that mean that I won't be able to ever get the results I want? Like, it's just fear. It's all fear.
It's fear, and having an accountability partner, so whether that's your trainer or someone else who's working out with you, is definitely a good way to stay consistent, because you have someone else who's going through the same thing or who has gone through the same thing. So, and again, it's, like when you're in college, like, and you're in finals, like you always talk to an upperclassman, like, hey, you took that class, like, how did it go? Like, it's the same thing with fitness. Like, having someone who's done it or is going through it with you is also a great idea.
Yeah, it's the other day I was talking to my mom about interviewing you, and I was like, I just want to look like Michael Dean. I would do anything. And she's like, really? And I was like,
Would
yeah.
you do
She's
anything?
like, except going to the gym and eating well. I was like, bitch.
Well, yeah. I hope you didn't say that to her.
Of course I did. I was pissed. I was like,
Oh, no way.
Just thinking about it should be enough.
If I said that to my mom, she'd...
Oh, my mom. Don't worry. My mom...
She gave it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. And one thing you asked earlier, you asking about fitness or modeling, is that with Instagram now, it's really changed the modeling world. Mm-hmm. There for sure are in-person jobs, but they're a lot less now. Also because you have a lot less print advertisements and commercial advertisements, right? Yeah. So Instagram's kind of changed the game. I'm very curious. I don't know if you have an opinion on this, is where Instagram will go in the future, because it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere in the future. Anywhere as in it's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah. I think Instagram is one of those things. I mean, listen, we just found Reels, right? And now Reels is becoming the next big thing. And one thing that Instagram does is it looks at what the world is liking and what it's going after. It saw TikTok, mm-hmm. and it saw that's and people are realizing that we are stuck to our phones. And so they are going to do things. If you've seen the movie Social Dilemma, have you seen that yet?
I haven't seen it.
Watch it on Netflix. It's mind blowing.
I have seen the preview for it. I have not watched it, but it looks
you got to watch it. But where I think Instagram is going to go is literally taking everything they know that you like and making it in such a package that you never want to leave Instagram. And so what that...
So I can actually say, inside scoop from what I've heard from Instagram, is they are working on some stuff like that. I can't give out too many details, but I do know that like Instagram home screen and different aspects of Instagram will change visually to kind of fit what you're saying, to kind of market directly to the consumer.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that Social Dilemma said, which kind of like blew my mind, is the only two industries that call their clients users are the drug industry and the technology industry.
Funny, interesting, very addictive things.
Very addictive things. And, but I think for people like you, they're going to require someone like you to come up with all your content. And
Right.
but they're going to pay you well for it. They're going to pay you
Right.
for it, but it's going to be up to you. It's not going to be people calling you and saying, "Hey, we have this going on. We have," it's going to be, "Hey, what do you like, Michael Dean, and how are you going to sell that to the rest of the world? And we will pay you to do that."
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of already going that way.
Yeah, yeah,
Quickly.
absolutely.
Quickly.
Well, listen, I like ending these interviews with telling the person why I love them, why I had them on the show. So sit back and absorb this because I'm about to tell you all the things.
Great.
What I love is that you have influenced so many people in my life who in return have used what you have taught them and how you have loved them to love me. And so without knowing you before I even knew you, I got to feel and I got to experience the love that you poured onto others, onto me. And so I love that. I love that you are such a real man. I love that you are a man way beyond your years, but that it's not intimidating, but you are someone that I can easily just joke with and be with and connect with. You're just that real person. I love that you are not shy about sharing how to do things, how to become a better person, how to do that. And, as I hear even things of you saying like, yeah, Cassie and I one day want to build a family, like I instantly go, oh my gosh, he is going to be the most amazing father because of exactly how you're living your life now. And everyone I know that personally knows you would say the exact same things. And that's what I love about you. I love that there's just no trepidation. Like if you're someone that says to me, Mark, this is what you need to do to be a better person, I know that that's coming from personal experience, and so I'm going to follow it. I think you're an incredible heart. I think you're an incredible spirit. And listen, the funny thing is, I noticed this, which is weird, is that obviously you're a stunning human being. You've got a stunning body. But when you connect with you and you get to know you, you don't see that stuff. You see the heart behind who you are, and that says a lot to me. That says a lot to me. I always wish the best for you. Like I can't, like hearing that you're having a 1-year anniversary, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it just brings me joy to know that you've made it a year and to know that you have a wife that loves and adores you. Like people want the best for you, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to know you. It's a blessing to get to know you better. And it's just one of those things where you break down barriers and break down walls and make so many of the fears that people might have about fitness or whatever just kind of go away by the wayside because you have proven to so many how it can change your life. And it's fun to see.
Thank you so much. You just made my day. And thank you so much for having me on board.
Well, I will call you later because I do want to. I'm now ready for that next step in my fitness journey. I've lost all the weight, and now I need to look like Michael Dean. From Tennessee. One of the things that's really funny that people have asked like 1,000 times, which is so funny because I asked Topol. I asked Nick Topol about this. They're like, does Michael actually look the way he looks in pictures? I'm like, yeah, he does. It's very annoying.
Yeah, Nick Topol is not one to talk, though. He's ripped to pieces.
You know what I love about Nick Topol, though? That most people don't. He's not the tallest man in the world.
No.
But his pictures make him look like he's 7'4".
Photos. Oh yeah.
He's not. He's not.
Hey, he is a big boy though. He's big.
Oh no, he's big, but
yeah.
he's not tall.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'11".
See, you look like you're 7'9".
Right. Same thing. I have heard that when people meet me in person, they're like, "Oh, I thought you'd be taller." And I'm like, I'm keeping my mean comments inside.
Oh, don't worry. I get people all the time that they've seen me like on Real Housewives, and then they're like, "Oh, I thought you were a lot fatter than you were."
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I get that all the time.
That's terrible. You should just cup in the face.
I was like, "Oh, that's funny because I thought you were so much uglier," and then
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna say, but
But you're nice, and I'm not.
Right. Hold it.
So. Okay, this girl keeps asking you to take your shirt off. He's not going to take his shirt off. Go to his Instagram. There's his arm. You will see exactly how he looks on his Instagram.
Exactly. So, yes. We can go through and read the comments later.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Brother. Well, thank you so much. I will be calling you soon.
See you, bud.
Bye, buddy.